Hi there, here's what this is. The Forgotten Video Store is a weird and kind of gross rental store in North Hollywood where all their videos are bootlegs of unreleased, lost, or otherwise impossible to find movies. And on this podcast, we go to the Forgotten Video Store and rent one of their movies and try to make sense of it. I'm your host, David Murto, aka Daddy Big Cup. And my guest this time is a comedian that you may have seen on Last Comic Standing or on her own Peacock half-hour special. And she's also the host of the show Rosie Tran Presents, which you can find for free right now on Tubi. Rosie Tran is here. Rosie, thanks so much for going to the video store with me.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a little dusty in here, but I'm sure we'll find something fun.
Your show, Rosie Tran Presents, it's a good show because it starts with a little bit of like an interview before the stand-up comedian, right? So it feels like you get to know the person a little bit and you're like, oh, I feel like this person's like, look at me, my friend or something. And then you get to see their act and you're already like rooting for them. You know?
Yeah, I think so. And I think the interesting thing, which a lot of viewers and fans have told me, is that sometimes someone's stand-up is so different than the interview that it's a little surprising. Like I know one of the comedians, one of my fans had messaged me and she said she really didn't like him, like as a person in the interview. She's like, man, that guy was really annoying. And then she loved his stand-up. So I think it just shows that some performers are very similar to their personality and some performers can be very different. And it's just a mix.
Where do you think you are? Are you a lot like your stand-up persona?
Oh, well, no. Yes and no. So my stand-up persona is like me on crack.
Okay.
I'm pretty shy in real life, and I think I'm pretty animated on stage. So it's the person on stage is definitely me, but like a version of me that is more reserved in real life.
All right, so you picked out a movie this week, and it was called America's New Sweetheart. No relation to that movie, America's Sweetheart. Sweethearts? What was that one with like John Cusack or something? I don't remember. Doesn't matter. This one.
It doesn't matter. It's not America's New Sweetheart.
Yeah, America's New Sweetheart is from 1997. Stars a young Lucy Liu.
Yeah,
well, she's crying.
I love her. She's amazing.
Me too.
This is like pre-Ally McBeal, pre-Charlie's Angels. So this is like the real Lucy Liu.
In the beginning, she's in high school and they have her like in pigtails. I love this trope where they just like change their hair a little bit to indicate like this is a young version.
Exactly. Right? But there's the older version, they don't try to like put gray streaks in the hair or anything. No, it's just like pigtails and then not pigtails.
Right. Yeah. So we meet her in high school and she's real cool, but she got a little problem.
A big problem. A big bully.
A big bully played by Melissa
McCarthy.
This is before Gilmore Girls. So this was like, she was kind of an unknown quantity at the time. Like,
I feel like the movie that I picked is kind of like The Outsiders because it's like everyone pre-fame, right?
Sure, yeah. Or like Diner or even The Social Network. If you go back and watch that movie, you're like, hey, that's Dakota Johnson. But
it's great finding a gem like that where you're like, oh, this is before they were them.
Yeah.
The name.
Melissa McCarthy, she's real trouble. Like we get this scene in the lunchroom where Lucy Liu, like her mom packed her lunch.
I know. And it's okay. I can see why this movie went direct to video and didn't get a wide release because it's a little bit problematic.
Right.
And it's like, okay, not only is she Asian, but the lunch is like the stereotypical, like it's over the top. She has like sushi. She has like dried fish. She has like every single, I'm surprised they didn't put chicken feet in there. It was like every single like disgusting Asian trope. I'm like, okay, the writers were definitely like smoking weed when they wrote this lunch scene.
Right. But Melissa McCarthy, oh, that smells nasty. Oh, is that dogs and cats? Like that kind of stuff.
It's so tropey, but and definitely like cancelable in the 2020s. But I guess in the 90s that was acceptable, right?
Well, they're not like saying this is a cool thing that she's doing.
They're not, but it's very. I feel like the 90s. So the 80s was like very typical, right? They had like Revenge of the Nerds.
Right,
they had all these like very stereotypical bad guys, good guys, vice versa, right? Like the jock stereotype. I feel like the 90s was like, there was this feeling of, pro movement, pro women. It was very positive, but there was still a lot of tropey things in the 90s. Like there was movies like Shallow Hal, like him making fun of fat women. Like there's so many movies that are so problematic from the 90s that you're like, oh, I guess we were making progress. But I mean, it was kind of a racist scene. Like, she's definitely, there was way more exotic Asian food in her lunchbox than should have been.
Yeah. But that's like leads to that really heartbreaking scene where it's like the next day And her mother, you see her like slaving away, like getting the lunch ready. And Lucy Liu is just like, no, I'm not taking that. Like, you can't be sending me to school with that kind of stuff. And it's like, you can tell it breaks the mother's heart.
It does. But the funniest scene, actually, my favorite scene in the movie, because it actually reminds me of my own childhood, was her mom trying to make the American lunches and just completely screwing it up. Like, it's like, okay, you're not supposed to put that much mayo on a sandwich, but she's just like never made a sandwich before.
I'm a big mayo guy, so I was I was like, hey, that's looking all right. Give me
it
that.
was like beyond, you know, when you get those finger sandwiches from like Ralph's or like you're at a party and it's like so much meat and like a tiny bit of Wonder Bread and like 9 tablespoons of mayo. I feel like that's what her mom was doing. You're like, oh my God, that's so much mayo. That's going to be gross. And then she takes the bite the next day in the lunchroom and it's like, it was really disgusting.
Lucy Liu, like, she doesn't have a thick accent, you know? Like, when she's called on in class to, like, say something, then Melissa McCarthy's character, like, mutters in, like, a real stereotypical Chinese voice. And it's like, I get what you're doing, but, like, she doesn't sound like that.
The flashbacks were really, really silly. Like, it's definitely comedic. Like the typical bully, like putting bully stuff in her locker, like chopsticks and like all this other stuff. It's like just really silly.
If you were a high school kid, you're like, you don't want to be dealing with this kind of stuff. But
you don't want to like open your locker and like chopsticks and like Hello Kitty falls out.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I want to know too, like, how did she get into her locker? Like, I didn't understand that, but I guess this is why this was straight to video. There's like huge plot holes.
So Lucy Liu, she's having a tough time. She's always bullied in school, but she goes home and she's got a big old poster of JTT himself.
Oh yeah, who didn't have a poster of JTT back in the day on the wall? I mean, I did.
And I like this scene because she like pretends to talk to him and is like getting real close and then starts like making out with the poster.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite scenes. And it just felt so nostalgic for me, like all of the Tiger Beat-esque photos on the wall. It's like posters and like photos and like heart emoji. Well, now emojis didn't exist back then, but heart stickers all over.
Right, yeah.
It's just like very like 90s-esque.
Things with Lucy Liu and this poster of JTT, I think are pretty hot and heavy.
Oh yeah, she's like looking at the poster. She's like getting crazy. I think the absolute best part of that scene was her mom walking in and she's like, oh, hi mom. She's like, I have your mayo sandwich. She's like, thanks mom.
This is like her go-to meal now is mayo sandwiches. My daughter's an American.
She eats Wonder Bread and mayo. I mean, the noises coming from the room were really comedic. You're like, what is going on there? If it was me and my daughter was in there making noises like that, I'd be like, what is happening?
So, but all of this is like set up because then they kind of flash forward and it's adult Lucy Liu with like adult office job. So we kind of learn a little bit about adult Lucy Liu's job, and it's like some sort of PR firm. I don't know much about that kind of world, but her coworkers are like gathered around the water cooler and
because they're so excited about their new client.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, she's so funny, like, and they're talking about this woman who's done the weather for a long. She's like the weather girl on the local news, and like everyone was tuning in just to watch the weather because she's so funny and
she's so hilarious. And the best part is when Lucy Liu's boss corners her and is like, I have the biggest assignment of your career, and I'm going to assign you this new client. And if you don't do it right, you're going to be fired. And this is like the biggest opportunity of your life. And she's so excited.
This is a make or break moment.
This is make or break. And she's so excited because she's like, oh my God, I'm finally getting my big chance. And then they reveal who the client is.
It's Melissa McCarthy, who's the weather girl, but it's like, do this right, she'll get bumped up to the news desk. She's going to host the show. And it's like, this is a crisis of conscience for Lucy Liu. Her career depends on her helping her own bully.
This is insane. But the biggest, most insane part of the entire plot is when they do the meeting in the conference room and she meets, quote unquote, her new client, Melissa McCarthy's character, who also has her new boyfriend with her carrying her purse, and it is
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Insanity!
This is wild news.
This is like insane.
I started to get steamed because Melissa McCarthy goes up and is like, hi, I'm Melissa. And
she doesn't even remember her. her.
She's like completely like as if high school never happened. And these people, it's not like they're old. It's only been like a few years since high school.
It's been like a few years. I think she does at this point. We know what happens at the end because we saw the whole thing. But at this point, I think she does know who she is, and she's like being like a
she's big dog in her.
Yeah, she's being a bitch.
Lucy Liu, to her credit, puts her feelings aside and like it's like I'm gonna actually try at this because like my boss said like I have to, and this is what's gonna make my career. And Melissa McCarthy, the harder she tries, the more successful Melissa McCarthy gets. She does get bumped up to the news desk. Now she's hosting the show. Their ratings are going up and up because what Lucy Liu does is she's like pitching Melissa McCarthy as like a story about like empowerment, body image. She looks,
I know, but how hard is that to promote empowerment when you know this is your bully? That's like insane.
Yeah, it is. It's like it's eating up at her. She can't sleep. But she comes up with this whole image of Melissa McCarthy as like the aw shucks girl. Because she's like, aw shucks. That's kind of her attitude. It's like, I'm a big lady, but what you gonna do? Like that kind of stuff. And people are eating it up. She's getting profiles in the New York Times and in Newsweek. And they're talking about elevating her to like Good Morning America or something. And this woman's on a skyrocket career trajectory.
But the funniest part, I think, is the weird chemistry between her and JTT, like because Lucy Liu definitely is like still in love with him.
Right, yeah.
And first of all, JTT and Melissa McCarthy is such an awkward, I don't know who was the casting director on this, but it's just like such an awkward chemistry. And like you clearly want him to leave her for Lucy Liu, but it's just like, that's not the point of the plot, right?
JTT, one of those guys who like was super cute as like a young guy. I shouldn't comment on the guy's looks. He's talented and everything, but like he was kind of cuter as a little boy than like an adult guy.
I feel like he was definitely like really heartthrobby as a teen actor, and then as an adult actor is handsome, but just kind of like an average guy.
This is 97, so he's like an adult, but not like he doesn't have a beard or anything. You know what I mean? Like he's kind of in that in between spot. But anyway, Lucy Liu books Melissa McCarthy on like a David Letterman type show because she's like, oh, I got a big announcement, and she goes and like reveals like she comes out and she's like, David, do you notice anything? And she's got the big diamond on her finger, and like she tells like the aw shucks story, like he proposed, and like at first I thought it was a joke, because who would want to marry me? Aw shucks, this kind of stuff. So Lucy Liu, like you can see the wheels are spinning, and she's like grinding her teeth, and she's like, I can't take this anymore. Like I'm helping my nemesis succeed in life. So she takes it upon herself. She's like books a romantic evening, right? Like couples massage, special candlelit dinner, all this kind of stuff. But she does it in 2 different places and sends Melissa McCarthy to the other end of town. And she actually shows up where JTT is for like the massage. It's like, oh, your fiance couldn't make it. And she said that maybe we should just enjoy this ourselves. And you're like, oh, she's trying to put the moves on JTT, this newly engaged guy.
I felt like it was almost like The Little Mermaid Kiss the Girl, but like in opposite. Because in Kiss the Girl, right, he's trying to get Ariel and Prince Eric to kiss. And I feel like in this situation, she's, Sebastian, but she's trying to kiss Prince Eric herself. I think he's kind of into her, but he's also like, I don't know. It's a weird dynamic. Like I said, I feel like it was bad casting because Melissa McCarthy and JTT aren't a match at all. So I feel like you're kind of rooting for Lucy Liu and JTT to be together, but also you're not because
she's doing it in the wrong way.
She's doing it the wrong way. And also I didn't feel like JTT and Melissa McCarthy were like unhappy together, even though they're like such an odd match.
Yeah, they're always laughing and having a good time together, but that laughing and having a good time is a little different than being like into each other.
Yeah. I mean, at this point in the plot, I didn't know who to root for as far as the JTT plot, because I was like, okay, I kind of want JTT to go with Lucy just because she was bullied so badly, and that's like her like crush, like her big crush. But then also you're like, oh, well, I don't want him to cheat on his fiance, even though we know Melissa McCarthy's like a monster.
Yeah, Lucy Liu, she's coming on strong. She's like strips down for the couples massage and everything, and it's like posing in the opportune ways to make herself look so beautiful to JTT. She's a beautiful woman. And JTT is just like, nah, I think I'm gonna sit this one out. Like, go grab me. And so it's just not working at all. And so Lucy Liu's like, back to the drawing board, right?
And that's when she comes up with the idea to sabotage, but she doesn't know what to do until her PR firm announces that Melissa McCarthy is going to be taking over as the host of the Today Show in New York.
The Today Show.
She's not just going to be on the news desk anymore. She's not just a weather girl, silly weather girl. She's going to be
This is the big show.
It girl and moving to New York. And it's all because of Lucy Liu. And she gets the credit from her PR firm. And her boss is like, you did it. You're going to get the big raise, the big promotion. All we have to do is seal the deal and make sure Melissa McCarthy looks good at her debut.
It's like, remember when Jeopardy had like a bunch of clowns coming through after Alex Trebek died?
Yeah, when he got,
And then it's like, who's going to be the big replacement? It's kind of one of those situations. It's like, it's going to be Melissa McCarthy, right? But she has to get
She has to earn it.
Yeah, she has to get
and
through
she
this
can't
one.
mess it up. And whose job is it to make sure she doesn't mess up?
Lucy Liu. Then the morning of her Today Show debut arrives, and she gets there and she's meeting everyone, and then there's a terrifying jump scare because we see Matt Lauer there. You don't want to see that guy anymore, but there he is, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna be your co-host this morning and all this. And Lucy Liu has a couple tricks up her sleeve
that she's been plotting and planning.
Today's the day of the revenge, and like all the different nasty racist things that Melissa McCarthy ever said to her are kind of like bouncing around in her head as this all is happening.
Oh yeah, there's like a full montage.
She goes to like the teleprompter guy. Melissa asked me to do this teleprompter because she trusts me with her speech speed. She trusts me with her speech speed.
With her morning monologue.
Yeah.
And she wants change. She's like, I mean, obviously they trust her. Lucy Liu is basically Melissa McCarthy's PR rep. So of course they trust her. And she's like an assistant, her right hand. And so she tells him, well, she wanted to make some changes. And the guy's a little upset. He's like, well, we have to run all changes by corporate. And she's like, no, let me just do them really quick. They're really minor. And so it's about to start. They're about to start shooting. So he just lets her control the teleprompter really quick.
So she goes in, she's messing with the words, and then she starts operating the teleprompter, but she's going way too fast. So Melissa McCarthy kind of sounds like a maniac. Good morning, and it's Wednesday, and it's 198 degrees this morning, and my name is Melissa McCarthy. Welcome to the Today Show.
And now Mark's just like laughing. He's like, oh my God, you're so crazy. Because
you're such a cut up.
Then she starts talking really slow because Lucy Liu's making it go really slow. And they think Melissa McCarthy is playing a character, and then she just turns to the screen, and what does she do? Aw, shucks.
And Matt Lauer is just like, I've been stuck with Katie Couric. She's such a drag, She never makes us smile. And it's like,
love
you're
her.
such a breath of fresh air. Lucy Liu's like steaming at this, but she's not done, right?
She's not done.
Melissa McCarthy is like, hey, can I get an iced latte over here?
She, at this point, I think, knows that Lucy Liu's trying to sabotage her, but she doesn't know for sure until she gets this iced latte.
Because you see Lucy Liu, she gets iced latte, but she goes by the crafty table, finds the sriracha, and like fills it up like halfway with sriracha.
Oh my God, it's insane. I can't even have like a teaspoon of that stuff without sneezing, coughing, choking. But they go to the next Today Show segment, and it's one of those baking segments, and they have this special lady. What was her name? Like the Queen of Dairy or something?
The Danish Queen.
The Danish Queen.
Yeah.
Those Danishes looked so good.
Yeah, and she is
so
Danish, and she makes cheese Danishes.
Oh my God, they look so good.
A lot of the Today Show is like glorified advertising.
Oh, it's totally glorified advertising.
Yeah, but it's fun, especially when you get a Melissa McCarthy in there. Right before they call action, they got that guy who's like 5, 4, 3. And then he doesn't say 2 and 1. That's always a fun detail. But she takes a big gulp of the iced latte that's full of sriracha. And so when they start going, she's like acting all wild, like, whoa, 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 whoa. And starts scarfing down the Danishes because she knows, as we all do, that the dairy helps alleviate some of the heat in your mouth, right?
And again, Matt Lauer and the whole Today Show, Al Roker, they think she's doing a character. They're like, oh, she's so into the Danishes.
She can't get enough of these.
She can't get enough of the Danishes. And she's just shoving them in her mouth, eating like 4 Danishes. And the Danish Queen is like so happy, laughing. And they're just like, you're so crazy.
Lucy Liu is like,
oh my God. Again, her second sabotage has now made Melissa McCarthy even more successful.
But she's got one more trick up her sleeve because she carries in her purse a little lizard.
a live lizard. I don't know how or why that was in her purse, but it was in her purse in a little thing.
And so she goes right before the next segment where they're going to debut the Hamilton Beach Salsa Blender Extreme. She goes, hey, can I touch up your makeup, Melissa? Reaches around, slides the lizard right down the back of her shirt right as the
guy's going
start going
4, 3.
And you see Melissa McCarthy like going nuts.
It looks like she's breakdancing.
Yeah, it's wild. And Matt Lauer, of course, is like, Melissa, I know I told you we were going to do the salsa segment. I didn't mean dance the salsa.
Oh my God, they're laughing like crazy.
The camera guy, the sound guy, they're all busting up. Melissa McCarthy's a riot. And then you get to see like Jay Leno's on his show and he's like, Kevin, you seen that? Have you seen this? Have you heard about this? And they play the clip of Melissa McCarthy. Like everyone loves it. It's
they
like,
love
that's
it.
The aw shucks girl.
And everyone's like, the aw shucks girl needs to be the permanent host of the Today Show.
They cancel all the other
all the other auditions.
Yeah.
It's her. It's the aw shucks girl.
She's never been bigger.
It's been a total and complete success.
Lucy Liu, you get to see her at her place and she's going through her yearbook, right? She's got her yearbook from high school. Melissa McCarthy doing, debate team captain, all this. And Lucy Liu is just like, maybe I would find peace if I move on, Maybe revenge, like hating someone is like drinking poison and expecting it to hurt the other person. She's saying all this kind of stuff, trying to psych herself out. She's like, I'm going to be your friend from now on. So the next day at the Today Show, she's resolved to just be helpful. And
to not do any sabotage, to be supportive. She's given up. She's essentially won in a way because she got Melissa McCarthy to be successful. And so she's secured her big promotion. So she's going to not do anything. But Melissa McCarthy's, the damage has been done. She knows that she's been trying to sabotage her.
And Melissa McCarthy's eating like a spinach and mushroom quiche, like right before she goes on, and gets like a big piece of spinach right between her teeth.
Oh, I hate that. That's the worst.
The guy starts counting down 5, 4,
and Lucy Liu's like waving. Yeah. She's like waving.
And then the cameras come on. Melissa McCarthy is basically just like, get out of my face, you Chinese bitch.
And they were still recording.
And this is the Today Show. This is on their air. Millions of families are watching this.
This is the 90s before the Janet Jackson wardrobe malfunction. This is
There's
live.
No time delay.
There's no time delay.
Matt Lauer's like, we can't have this. I'm an upstanding citizen and I believe in respecting all people.
But also, this is the point where we realize the entire time that Melissa McCarthy did remember her.
They escort Melissa McCarthy from the set. She goes back to the changing room and like she's breaking down in tears. And Lucy Liu goes in to kind of try to console her. She's like turned a corner in this relationship, right? I was just trying to help. You had spinach in your teeth. And she's like, oh, fuck, I do have spinach.
And she did have like a huge, it was like the whole time.
Mm-hmm. But she's like, but I'm going to come clean. Like I was the one causing all those problems yesterday.
Because you bullied me. And that's when we find out the biggest twist of the entire movie.
And Melissa McCarthy says, I bullied you because I was confused. Because I didn't accept who I was.
Because I was in love with you.
That makes a lot of sense. Because in the 90s especially, a lot of homophobia, I mean, there is now too, but in the 90s, like, there weren't as resources to, like, understand yourself in that way. So Melissa McCarthy kind of misdirected. It's like, I don't want to be gay, so I'm going to attack the object of my desire.
I feel like the twist totally makes sense too, because that explains the complete mismatch chemistry between her and JTT as well.
Melissa McCarthy isn't even interested in him in that way.
She's not even interested in JTT, and that explains everything. And at that point, Lucy Liu is just like floored.
They get to talking a little more. Melissa McCarthy throughout her life has also been the victim of bullying. Maybe it's about her weight or the way she talks or the way she's kind of accident prone and this kind of stuff. And they start, learning to understand each other a little more, and they brush hands and it's kind of an electric charge. Before you know it, they're like all over each other. And there's like the makeup desk, and they're like climbing on the makeup desk and making out and stuff. And it's pretty hot. And we like this stuff. But then you see Matt Lauer. He cracks open the door And he's like watching it happen, and he's like, ooh, yeah. And like doing this with his, like tapping his fingers together.
Like the evil hands?
Yeah, the evil hands.
So after they make rabid, passionate love on the makeup desk and throw all the makeup on the ground.
And the makeup artist comes in and is like, who's been messing with my makeup?
Lucy Liu goes to the producers of the Today Show and says there's been a big mistake and you have to take America's New Sweetheart back.
And they're like, we were going to anyway. Like, you thought the salsa dancing thing was big. People have been going nuts over her calling you a bitch. And like, they show Jay Leno again. Is like, hey, Kevin, you seen this? Have you heard about this? She said she's a bitch on TV and she's Chinese.
She keeps it real. She keeps it real.
Yeah. And so then the next day on the Today Show, Melissa McCarthy is like, brings out Lucy Liu and is like, I'm not racist. See, I have a Chinese friend and this proves that I cannot be racist. Then basically you get like the montage of like day after day, she's always making people laugh, doing different dances, being silly. And there's Lucy Liu on the side with the clipboard, like smiling and nodding.
And it's America's New Sweetheart.
And JTT is just kind of doing his own thing. And he's doing the later seasons of Home Improvement, maybe. And everyone's happy. So that's a really good movie. It was nice, you know? It's nice.
It was very fun.
It started off kind of harrowing with all the racism, but by the end you're like...
But it was silly racism. It was
right,
it's a comedy / drama. It was very silly. It was very over the top.
I liked it. Thanks for picking that out. To end out the show, do you have anything you want to plug? Like I mentioned your show, Rosie Tran Presents, really fun, and you can get it on Tubi. We love Tubi around here.
Yeah, if you can get it on Tubi for free with ads, or you can pay on Amazon Prime and rent it.
What is it, like 99 cents or something like that?
It's 99 cents an episode, so I think it's like $20 for the season.
Oh, nice.
And it's 10 episodes, 20 hilarious comedians. The show is focused on diversity in women, so there's comedians of all different ethnicities, genders, and it's lovely. So if you want to support some up-and-coming comedians and watch a show, that would be awesome. It's called Rosie Tran Presents again, and it's on Tubi and Amazon Prime.
Awesome. Yeah, I really recommend it. Rosie, thanks so much for coming all the way to North Hollywood to the video store with me.
Thank you so much for having me, David.
The end.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Forgotten Video Store. Share this podcast with all your friends, lovers, and high school bullies. And follow the show on your podcast app, because next week I'll be heading to the video store with Captain Steve, the host of the Shark Cinema podcast, Bucket of Chum. Will there be sharks in next week's movie? No spoilers. But no, there won't be any sharks in it. Forgotten Video Store is a slop-free zone. We never use any AI for any part of the production of this podcast. This is the fake movie review show, not the deep fake movie review show. The music in this episode is Funky Energy Loop by Kevin MacLeod and Compotech.com, licensed under Creative Commons by Attribution 4.0 license. Okay, bye!